Hello, and welcome to episode 16. This is the Hello, It's Me, I am Kay Nicole podcast, and I'm your host, Kay Nicole. So let's go ahead and jump right into our recap. So what is up with me? Last week on the show, we talked about how to start a lip gloss business in 2021. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. Happy Vlogmas, you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying the holiday season as much as I am. We have been getting these Vlogmas videos out for you guys, and I've been seeing all of your sweet comments, especially on my intro. Shout out Devin for the intro. My second holiday collection actually launched this week, my Holla Slay collection. I love this collection so much, so make sure you guys go ahead and grab yours today. This week has just been orders, Vlogmas, and Christmas shopping. Honestly, it's just getting super close to the holiday, so we've been trying to make sure that we have everything done ahead of time so that we are not scrambling at the last minute as we usually are. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you are watching this on YouTube right now, make sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and also follow me on all of the podcast platforms. Head over to Apple Podcasts and leave me a rating and a review. But that is it for the recap today, you guys. Y'all know 16 is my special number, so today's episode is going to be real chill but real fun. I got my wine, as you can see. Yeah, let me go ahead and introduce my guest for today. So I have my bestie Jacob in the building. Hello.
Hello. That's me.
You sound like me. Hello, it's me.
Hello, because I'm in the building. I'm the best friend. But yes to the wine.
Yes
I'm
to the
definitely here
wine.
for that. Like, cheers to that.
Cheers.
Tink.
Ding.
Okay. But yeah, I am the best friend, Jacob. I've been meaning to be on the show for a minute, to be honest. I was supposed to be on, episode 9 or 10 or something?
I think it was going to be episode 10, and then I was like, life got a little crazy around episode 10, so we were like, okay, we'll just...
Didn't you do an interview with that guy? I actually like that one. You did
episode 11, yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, things happen how they were. I'm here now, so
everything
happy to be here.
Happens when it's supposed to happen. But yes, I'm so happy to have you here on the show today. So we're just going to get right into it. Today, we're just chilling. We're drinking our wine. We're having a good time. And y'all know we're heading into a new year. So today's topic is really just about how to set achievable and realistic goals for your life and for your business. Everyone around this time is like, let's set our New Year resolutions. And people have all these wild things that they want to do by January 1st. So we're just going to talk about it. I'm very much a goal-oriented person, so I had to learn how to set myself up for success when it came to, planning my goals and figuring out timelines for goals and stuff like that. So I just felt like this was the perfect time to talk about it. So we're just gonna jump right in. So setting goals is something I love to do because I like to challenge myself. I like to I like a challenge. I feel like I've been like that since high school. Like
you have. I mean, I will say that's one thing that I've even told you this. I've always appreciated that about you.
Yeah.
Like, you'll set a goal and have the discipline to actually, in the plan, to follow through. Right. Yeah, I got to learn that from you because, trust me, girl, I have my issues. I told you that out there. I was like, I have my issues with that.
I mean, I feel like I just like having something to work towards, something to keep me motivated, keep me inspired, something, honestly, to keep me distracted. Like, being bored, being an only child, like, having to entertain myself. Like, it's so easy to just go crazy, like, drive yourself crazy when you don't have anything to do. And so I just like keeping myself busy. Like, everyone, even when I was in college, everyone's like, how did you do everything? I'm like, I just like to stay busy because I feel like if I'm busy, I'm productive. I'm not in my own thoughts. I'm not in my head. I'm not, being unproductive. I don't know. It's just weird. But so for me, in order for me to set goals, I have to think about what I really want to do because sometimes you really just don't know what you want to do in life. And you feel lost. So I just like to sit down and really think about that. And I feel like the most important part right now that I've been trying to learn is to take baby steps because I feel like I like to look at the bigger picture all the time. I like to look into the future. Like, I'm thinking about the big goal, like the goal that's going to take me 6 months to achieve. And I feel like I have the weight of the world on my shoulder every day. But it's better to just take baby steps. Baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps. That's definitely the one for it. I mean, you talked about it earlier. Well, we'll talk about it more for sure. Breaking it up. That's really what I'm bad about. And I think that's because I'm the complete opposite of you. Like, you always talk about how you have to keep yourself distracted by being productive. I keep myself distracted by doing impulsive things. So it's like, I can never say the short-term goals I'm definitely amazing with. But once we get to the long-term, I'm going to just let you talk about that one. For real. I'm going to just let you talk about that one because that's what I'm still working on to this day.
That's what I'm saying though. Like in my mind, I like to think about all of it as a short-term goal, like cuz I know that it's easier to reach short-term goals. So if I
Right.
have something that I'm trying to do in March of next year and I know like it's going to take me X amount of time to do this, I want to have little individual tasks that I can do so that I feel like I'm not so overwhelmed. I don't know. I feel like once I get overwhelmed, I shut down and I just don't want to do it anymore with certain things. Like I have to be really passionate about it. I have to really want it. But I found that, just really breaking your larger goals into smaller goals and making it something that you can work towards every single day or every single week. I just feel better that way. Because if I just feel like I'm not making progress on something, then I feel like I'm being unproductive. So even if I work on something for like 3 days, but it's really going to take me 3 months and I'm not seeing that fast progress right away, I'm not satisfied.
Mhm.
I don't know why.
No, I mean, that's really the hard part about it is just waiting for it. I used to talk to someone about because we went to school for different majors, and I
Right.
actually use you as an example because for me, my major in school was education.
Mhm.
So you kind of already know going into the education field, you're not going to come straight out of school making money. But it's like, which
Mm.
also kind of sucks. I say that to say because then it's like you have this long-term goal, and then when you reach it, you still have more to do. Like,
Right,
my
right, right, right.
long-term goal was to make money in education, and that like so I say that to say not seeing progress right away is definitely a little bit discouraging. I think
Mhm.
that's what I have a problem with, but then it's like you have to go even further. I can't talk today, but you have to go a little bit further,
Right.
and it's just really breaking up to the small term stuff that you're good at, but you got to plant that seed.
I
I
had
always
to
have a
learn though. It
problem.
was not like an overnight thing. I had to really think about it like, wow, maybe if I try to do this in smaller chunks, it would help me. But kind of like when I was in college, they kind of set me up for that too. We would have really big projects that we do at the end of the quarter. And it was just like throughout the quarter, we had little checkpoints like, okay, this
Mhm.
chunk needs to be done by this day. This chunk needs to be done by that day.
I think that's important too. I think that's one thing that a lot of people miss is just doing checkpoints and
Right.
checkups because it's kind of
Yeah.
like you kind of remind yourself how much you've already accomplished. So
Mm-hmm.
it is a little bit more encouraging to keep going towards that next little goal. That's one thing that definitely you taught me is like writing it down because I don't mind
Yes.
making a plan. I always feel like I can make a good plan,
Right.
but visualizing it, writing it down, and then being able to actually like check off each point is
Mm-hmm.
somewhat satisfying, like very
I'm
satifying.
about to say it ain't somewhat. That's the best
Very
part of the
sad.
day. That's the
The
best
check,
part of the
okay?
not even a check. I'm scratching through. I'm like going like
Hello?
this,
Because
like
we finished it and we're moving on.
right. It's above me now. It's
Mm,
done. Okay.
mm-mm.
Yeah, I do like that you said that. And then also one thing I had to learn was to kind of be more realistic with myself about my goals because I know at one point I thought I was
Definitely.
superwoman for real. Like I just thought I could do everything in the world and that's how you set yourself up for failure. That's how
Mm.
you let yourself down and start to, just be super hard on yourself. So I'm like, girl, calm down and
I did
stop trying to
myself
do
that.
everything. You can't do everything in one week. So
I did
being
that to
realistic.
myself with the piano because I have that piano still sitting in my
Yes, yes,
bedroom,
yes.
and I really thought to myself, there's this one piano piece where I was like, oh, by the end of the year, I'm gonna be able to play that. Like I just thought it was gonna be so. It was definitely a reach your honor. Like I am still, but then what was bad about it is because I was so focused on just being able to do this one crazy thing in
Mm,
this short time period. I didn't stop and think, you know how we used to do in band. I didn't start with my scales, baby, okay? Like I didn't start small and then go big. Like so it's still sitting there in my room collecting dust at
oh
this
my
point.
goodness.
But I mean, once we listen, we'll talk about New Year's resolutions. That's actually one that I have is to actually do the whole by the end of the year thing again, but
Mm-hmm.
actually be able to break it up into months, what I want accomplished by
Right.
the end of the month type thing.
Wow.
So,
So if you didn't know, me and Jacob were in band together.
yeah.
Okay, the best ones in the class. The
Hello?
best ones in the class. I
Top
mean,
tier.
top
Top
tier,
tier,
first
first chair.
chair. Period. See, listen.
That's just what it is. I feel like the only reason I was in first chair too, and I'm sorry to just throw this out there. You can cut this out because I know they're going to be very upset. But the only reason I was in first chair the entire time is just because I was trying to be nice to the seniors. But if we really want to talk about it, we were even better than them
I
when
was about
we
to
were
say
like,
we don't cut anything out of the podcast, so it's
we
making
were
it.
even better than them. But I mean, that's really what it was. I feel like, and I hate to say it, but to mention band, believe it or not, they taught me a lot about this goal setting thing
Yes,
too.
yes,
Really, because
absolutely.
I would have put that trombone down had I not have really sat there and did the simple stuff for hours on end, like
Mm-hmm.
until I got it perfect and then moved on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Like I tell you all the time I lack discipline, but there are certain areas where I'm just like, okay, like let me just take that little thing that I learned and put it into another aspect of my life and just learn discipline in that aspect at this point.
Listen, band was so crucial for me. Like that was the time for me, like, to really learn discipline, because he was not playing with us. Okay,
At all.
he was not playing with us in that band. So I feel like that was really like a critical part of me even getting to where I am now. That's why I'm like, I always cherish that. I like, I see him in the store, I'm like, hugs. Okay, where would I be without
Like
you? Where
you
would
told
I
us we have
be?
a deadline and it needs to be perfect by the end of it.
Perfect.
But we knew we got it done.
Did
We
y'all ever
got
want
it
to play
done.
in college?
No.
I wanted to.
Nope.
I didn't play in college though because Georgia State's band is just so different from your
Mm.
typical.
Mhm.
Like we came from Newton, where it's like we're playing actual music. Like they were playing, real sad, slow. Like like I can't march to. I don't even want to march to this song. Like this is not a marching band. We're skipping and walking and just.
Oh my
It's just.
gosh.
But like, did y'all like look at like HBCUs and like look at their band and be like, I want to do that?
I did not.
Yeah, I actually did. I had a scholarship to Hampton.
Jacob was in marching band. I was not in marching band.
okay.
I was in concert band, then I was in symphonic
Oh,
band.
gotcha.
Girl, they had to beg me to get into marching band.
Right, I know. They definitely had to work on Jacob, because Jacob, you did not want to do any type of
Physical labor is a
physical
lot.
activity, nothing. Like
Y'all
we
don't
were
like
all,
marching band?
huh?
Y'all don't like the marching band?
I was in it, like I said.
He was
but
in
I'm saying you
marching
they
said
had
you
no
didn't want to
choice.
do it at first.
Because he did not want to do anything. Like, he didn't want to do
Lazy.
any sports. He was lazy. I'm like, Jacob, like, you have to do something. I'm like, I want to cheer. I knew I didn't want to be in marching band because I already heard about how marching band was. I was like, I don't even want no parts
Yeah.
of that. Okay.
Fell on
It
a
was too much?
scale.
It was a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's a lot of coordination. And
It's a lot of
everything, too.
training. They train.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, y'all train harder than us. And we cheering, jumping,
And
holding
these
people up. We
thick
doing all this stuff.
suits. It's really the suits that we have to wear too. They're so thick, and then you're sweating even in the cold. It was just too much.
Yeah, I saw what they had to do for training. I said, there is no way. I almost died. Like, for cheer tryouts, I literally almost died. Like, it was so bad. That's why I was like, there's no way I could have been in marching band.
I don't know how I
There's
did
just
it.
no way. But yeah, no, I did not want to do it in college. Just like cheering, I was like, yeah, no, thank you. After high school, I'm done with this, and I'm done with band too. Like,
I should have probably kept with it. It would have kept some structure because that's really when I lost all types of self-discipline was when I got to college and didn't have anything to do other than just classes.
right?
Like if
That's
I
when
really,
that's when stuff gets real.
yes, you
That's
have to
when
keep
stuff gets
yourself
real.
productive. But I
That
lost
was
that.
that was a crazy time for me. It was a wild time. So yeah, I like that we kind of talked about that, because it's important to be very versatile with what you learn. Like we said, we can apply things that we learned in high school from band, or things that we learned in certain classes, to our everyday lives as adults. So don't just think, you're in school and the things that you're learning doesn't apply, because I feel like when we're in that situation, like when we were there, we were just like, oh, this is BS. Like, why are we doing this?
Complete.
But it really benefits you in the long run. So I like that we talked about that. But yeah, the next thing on my list was these New Year's resolutions, honey, because people are like, new year, new me.
Hello.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever been that kind of person to do
I
that.
haven't, but at the same time, I've tried a couple of times. I used to try to do the whole like extreme New Year's resolution where you're about to completely transform your entire self.
Right.
Like I've tried that, especially when I went through that phase where people were like, it's not what you say, is how you say it. People were calling me a little too aggressive. So new year, new me, let me try to do, but that goes back to realistic goals. That's not realistic. Like I'm going to say what I want to say.
Right.
But
And is.
I mean, honestly, I don't find it wrong to at least set people sometimes want to set a little diet change goal. Okay, sure, that's fine.
Right.
But new year, new me, no ma'am.
I just feel like it's so drastic. Like, I don't know what you guys are trying to do with your lives, but
and especially overnight.
right.
Like, y'all get drunk and messed up on New Year's Eve and think we're going to wake up and just be a new person?
Yes.
No, man. I got to prep myself for this, okay?
Literally, I have here, without proper planning and self-discipline, you might start something January 1st and fall off by January 2nd and then be
Hello.
looking like, well, as Jacob always says, well.
Here's the problem. And just using the diet thing as an example,
Mm-hmm.
people really do go all out the night before. I'm like, no, you
You
might as
can't
well
just
start
get
a
it
week
all out. You can't
before.
get it all out the night before and then wake up holier than thou.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all.
Mm-mm.
Ugh. I don't even, besides the piano thing though, I don't even know if I have any New Year's resolutions. I mean,
Hmm.
do you have any for one?
I mean, I kind of, I just want to, I'm always like, I just want to continue to level up with what I'm doing. And I
Mhm.
try not to, put a number on everything, like say, oh, this day I'm going to have 50,000 subscribers, or this day I'm going to have blah, blah, blah. Like I just want to continue to see growth, and I want to
A
continue
little
to
wine.
be consistent. You drink all your wine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I still got a little ways to go. Yeah, I have goals, but I don't think I have actual like New Year's resolutions. One thing I do know is that I do want to start to implement a healthier lifestyle, but I just don't really know what that looks like for me because I've tried
Mm.
different things and it hasn't really worked out. I haven't really stuck to it, and I'm like, if it's something that I think in my mind that I want to do for myself, but I really don't want to do it every single day, I'm like, it's just not going to work. So, I'm trying to figure it out,
Mm.
I don't know. I feel like quarantine, that's made us fall into a lot of things that we might not have wanted to, eating whatever we want, drinking whatever we want,
If it's
smoking
there, it's there.
hookah all the time. Like just things that I'm just like, okay, don't gain weight that you don't want to gain
But
because
we
of
can't pause this,
quarantine.
can we? I have a question.
What's your question?
Because I have a definite goal, but it's not appropriate to talk about on here.
Oh, well.
We don't cut anything out, but I'm not going to talk about it. But yes, implementing a healthier life. There are things I want to cut out for sure. I'm just going to, you know what? I'm just going to use the pork example. Yeah, I can try to do that. That's one thing that I think is a goal for the
Want
new
to cut
year.
pork out of our lives. All right.
Some of my goals really aren't appropriate to talk about,
You're
to be
hilarious.
completely honest. But there are things that I feel like, to sum it up, I have not treated my body like the temple that it is. Like the things I
Mm.
eat, like
Yes.
the, people I've been with,
Yes, yes, yes.
it's just like, I feel like that's one thing I can definitely say is something I want to go into, not just the new year, but like
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be a lifestyle change. Like that's
Right.
another thing too. You said level up. It's really what it is. I don't want something, I don't even want to think of it as a yearly goal. So it's like temporarily, like, put in place. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely trying to treat my body a lot better, exercise more, like
You and me both.
everything.
You and me
Let me
both.
let me go ahead and add that to the list. Okay, I thought I
Write
walked
it
in here with
down.
maybe one little small New Year's resolution. I'm gonna walk out with a good like 5, 10 or something.
Listen, let me inspire you real quick. No,
While we over here talking about some no new me, girl, we finna
it's
look
gonna
in
be a new
the.
me.
It's
But
gonna be a
I'm
new
just
body,
like, I
baby.
feel like
Okay.
people say that and they think that on the first, like, it's just gonna drastically change. I'm like, yes, we're opening a new chapter, but it's okay if it takes time. Like, at the end of the day, like, the same habits are going to yield the same results. So it
Mhm.
might take you time to break those habits or form new habits in order to see the changes that you want to see. So it might not be on January 1st that you're going to see all of these changes, but at least implement them. And I'm like, for me, once I figure this out, it's going to be something that I work on. Like, I'm currently writing in my journal now to think about the things that I want to
Oh,
do.
journaling's important. Yeah, that's good.
I'm not waiting until January 1st to start working on this, though.
Okay, remind me though. There's 30 days in January or 31st or 31.
Is it 31, right?
31. Okay, yeah. Anyways, I only say that to say, the whole 21-day rule, of course. Like, it takes 21 days to actually either
Mm.
make or break a habit.
Right, right,
But
right.
what people also don't understand is that cool down period that you keep talking about. I truly
Mm.
feel like, give yourself, like, if there's 31 days in December, I mean, honestly, you can give yourself probably like the first week or two to kind of wind down. Like, if you have a diet change you want to implement, like, just give yourself 2 cheat days, maybe a week or something
Right.
like that. I
Yeah.
truly feel like that's another thing too, is that when people accidentally slip up, then, or at least with me personally, I can say this about myself, is that if I have like a goal, like let's say I'm not trying to smoke hookah for however long,
You're
then
hilarious.
I'm gonna slip up and do one day, and then it's just like, oh, now I'm in the just like, oh, just just whatever
Forget it.
mentality.
Now I
Yeah.
can just like keep
I'm trying
doing
to find
it.
a way, a nice way to say that. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, that's the real problem is that allow yourself some cheat days too with goals. I personally feel like that's okay only because I'm just the type of person where I would rather think of it in a positive light, like, oh no, I missed a day. Now it's just like throw it out the window. I'd
Mm.
rather just be like, okay, I'm allowing myself to miss a day so that way I can keep going afterwards without
Right.
feeling like I just completely failed.
Yes.
Like, that's another problem that I used to have that I had to break out of for sure.
I mean, going cold turkey with anything is going to be hard. If you're
Very.
used to a certain thing, a certain routine, your body is literally going to go into shock if you try to just like abruptly take everything out. So, even like an actual nutritionist or whatever, like I know my parents have worked with people that are helping them get their diets together, whatever. You still have a cheat day. Cause it's just like
Yeah.
it's not realistic. That's that set realistic goals for yourself again. Because if you eat certain things and you just say, "Yep, January 1st, that's it. We're not doing this anymore." I mean, some people can do it. Some people can work through it, but it's not a pleasurable experience at
I
all.
feel like even
So
those people, though, they just have a really good plan and a little bit more self discipline. You have to
yeah,
know yourself, honestly. Like, I know I'm the type of person that doesn't have that much self discipline. So I
right.
know I have to literally take some time to
That.
basically, wean myself off of it, okay?
Mhm.
Like, no matter what the habit is, no matter what I'm trying to do, like, especially when it came to working out, that's one thing that I'm really trying to do more often.
Right.
Because, like, at this point, I'm how old? And I still weigh the same that I weighed in high school. Like, at this point, if I'm not going to just gain weight naturally, that's like a goal that I'm trying to do is actually put on weight. But that requires actual work.
Exercising.
Yes. But then it's like the exercise that I
Diet.
hate the most is like
Lifting,
weightlifting.
and that's what you have to do.
Like
I can
I
just
would rather
imagine Jacob lifting weights right now.
listen, I would
Please.
rather just get like unexplainably fat and have to do cardio or something. Like put me on a treadmill, but don't tell me I have to lift something. I've been trying to avoid lifting my whole life. I even turned
Yikes.
down jobs where in the description they do that must be able to learn like lift 25, 50 pounds. No ma'am.
I'm not doing that.
Stop. You lost me there.
Not doing
Are you
that.
gonna pay me extra? But yeah, I have got to. I don't know. I'm gonna probably start with like 2 days a week or something.
Hmm.
3 days a week maybe.
What you need to do, you need
Ugh,
to implement that little exercise. You need to take protein. That's what you need to do.
ugh.
I got some new protein powder in there.
I saw
At
on the
the
island.
Well, I actually have a new one besides that, so I'll have to put you on. But yeah, exercising is definitely something that I'm just like I don't want to change my body in any way. I love my body. I love my weight. I love the way my body looks. Now, I would like to be more toned in certain areas,
Yeah, I would
but
like that.
I just want to feel better. I just feel like people that exercise, y'all look better, y'all skin clearer, y'all got more stamina, y'all can walk up the stairs without dying. Like I
Hello.
just want to be able to walk up the stairs and get into my apartment without feeling like I'm about to lose a lung, okay?
I really need
Because
5 minutes when I walk into your door just
literally I have to
because the
literally
stairs.
sit down. I can't do anything else. Like I need to really just collect my breath and get my breathing back regulated. It's crazy. Like imagine if you have to run for your life. I'm like, I better
Oh.
rely on adrenaline at that moment because baby, I will be on the floor. Okay?
I think about that often because let me tell you something. Have you ever met Micah, my friend Micah?
Mm, this sounds
Anyway,
familiar, yeah.
you probably have y'all have probably been together at one point. But either way, she also tried to help me with this little physical change kick or whatever. And one
Mhm.
of those things was, the park that's at my neighborhood. We tried to jog around that.
Oh,
Tell me why.
that's a big circle to jog around, Jacob.
Girl, no, that's the worst part about it. 4 laps around that park equals 1 mile. When I tell you,
That's a track.
we didn't even like run. I did a run walk. Still was dead. Still was completely dead.
That
And I
sounds
thought to
like
myself that exact thing. If I had to run for my life, I would probably just lay down. This is crazy. Like if I'm not on some adrenaline rush where I can make it or there's someone else I can trip maybe, I don't know. We got to figure something out quick before we hit this 1 mile mark and I'm going to throw up and pass out. Period.
I listen. That
Oh,
back in the day when I was cheering, we had to do that. Like warm ups was like run a mile. We would have to get there early. Like if we knew that it was gonna take us a long time to do it, we would have to come early, get our mile done. We could run, walk, do whatever we wanted to do. But they like you gotta get that mile in, and I'm like, run a mile around the track. What?
I
My
would have
body
quit.
is fighting me right now. Okay, I can't even do it.
I
I
would have
can't even
quit
do it.
right
You know,
then
I was
and
in
there.
high school. Well, I don't, I ran cross country, but
Can't even do it.
You look like the type.
but
Oh,
there was this
can't even
one
do it.
day I was just because like I practice at home, and so I was just like running around my neighborhood, and like I think like my whole neighborhood is probably like 1 mile, and like the neighborhood next to me is like another mile. So I run both those neighborhoods. And there's a neighborhood behind me, and so like one day I don't know what happened. I was listening to music, I listened to Selection Radio, and then I end up running 10 miles.
10 miles.
Yes,
Get
and
out of
I
here.
I, I felt
Get
like
Jacob. Get out of here.
Like this.
that,
Get
was
out
that
of
was
here.
the only
I'm
time.
also disgusted because I would be on the floor. I would
That was
be
the only
dead,
time I did
literally.
it. But like when after I did it, I didn't even feel like I don't know.
No,
I just had like energy that day for some reason.
I don't have that kind
But
of energy.
I
So,
would never have that kind of
right,
energy,
it
to be
ain't ever
completely
coming into my body
honest.
at all.
I think it was the music because I was trying to finish the radio, and it's like back then it was like 2 or 3 hours
10
long. So
miles.
Let
yeah,
me
and
look
like
and
it was like
see.
in 3 hours. Yeah,
Please zoom in on my face right now.
Uh,
10 miles.
I was surprised too because like at first because I usually run like 3 miles for practice, and so then I
That's
tried
a
to
little too
up it
much.
up to 4, and then I ran 4, and I was like, I feel good, and I went to 5, and I was like, you know what, let me try 6, and I just
You're
kept going,
insane.
and I was like,
You're insane. Okay, and that's
Completely and
why.
entirely. But
Anyways,
hey,
I'm
maybe
getting
one
stressed
day.
out thinking about it.
Yeah.
10 miles. I can't even run one.
I
I
had
mean,
a
it's
bad
honestly probably because I was
PTSD.
practicing like that whole year with cross country, so like I built up to it, but
That's one thing that I do miss though. Like when I was cheering, at a point, once I got used to it and I really got in shape, it was amazing.
Yeah.
That was a
I
good
feel like that's
time.
really why they like working out is because you can actually like visibly see the results and it's
Yes.
on you. It's like there's no results that you can, well, I'm not going to say there's no results you can see that are bad from working out because some people look bad, but they still love themselves more. So
Right.
it is what it is. It's whatever you're going for. But
Mm.
like you said, I think I honestly love my body. You can tell by how I post it. But if it were just a little bit more toned, I would absolutely like y'all wouldn't be able to tell me anything, honestly. Like it'd be
Honestly and
y'all would have
truly.
to look out. It wouldn't have nothing to do with me. I would be hurting y'all's feelings if I got my body together, if we're being honest. But
yeah, honestly, if you do like
we're
20
being
push-ups
honest.
a night, you'll be straight.
That's so much.
It's
I'll be
not
on Twitter. You know they
That
have
is
been
a lot. Okay.
20
Yeah, 20 is a
or
lot
like
for me.
do 10 in the morning and 10 at night.
Now 10 might be an easier goal. And
Exactly,
that's what
Yeah.
I
exactly.
was thinking about. Like when I first started trying to work out, what was that like last month, 2 months ago, whatever. I was trying to work out again, but I was trying to do this 20-minute workout and I'm like, I can get halfway through this, but I can't finish the full 20 minutes. So now I'm thinking like, okay, smaller goals, people, baby steps. Like don't try to force yourself into something crazy.
You just gotta remember like you're just now starting out, so like you're not gonna be like
10
Oh
minutes.
yeah.
in
I
great
said
shape.
I can probably do a 10-minute workout, maybe not even every single day, maybe like 3 to 4 times a week and start that way until I get back into the habit of working out because just walking up the stairs, y'all, that's nothing. Like it's not a
It's
workout.
so exhausting
It's
though.
exhausting, yes, but I'm like it's not really, doing any it takes me what 2 minutes to get up the stairs. So I said that's not enough. Sis, you're going to have to do more. That's not enough. So yeah, 10 minutes. Start small. Don't beat yourself up. Don't try to go crazy when you first start something cuz
One thing that's good too, I like, well, this is just a good example when it comes to, since we're talking about getting our body into shape. There are a lot of people you can model yourself after too. I feel like a lot of
mhm.
people just try to, which I'm one of those types of people, so I'm not even going to down it like it's something crazy, but just build your own plan. I'm one of those types of people, yes. But there are some times where, like, for example, when I was trying to get more flexible, there's this one YouTube I started watching, and I mean, who doesn't love YouTube, right? Hello. But it's one this I was just getting into these yoga videos where it was great because they set it up in a way where they understood you're not going to be able to do this whole video the first time around. Like they set it
Yes.
up to where like find if you really want to, you can find people who will have a plan set for you. That's easy to follow. That way it's you don't have to guess what you can and cannot do, and it's
Mhm.
okay to still adjust that plan. I basically just say that to say that I'm probably gonna have to do that this time around, like swallow my pride and not build my own plan like I like to do, and just maybe go off of someone else's plan that worked for them. Because then you see their results, you see, okay, this might work for me. At least for goals where it's like you don't have to be so quote unquote, well, you have to be passionate about anything you do. But one where it doesn't have to be so personalized, if that makes sense.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's what I really need to do, is find a good workout plan where I can start small and go big. Because I never know what I'm doing either when I walk into the gym.
That part. That's why I don't go to the
Never
gym.
know
I'm
what
like,
I'm doing.
I'm just gonna stay home. If I could find a little workout on YouTube, I'll do that. Just like baby step, because I don't want to get to the gym and be looking dumb. Like, I don't know what I'm doing in here. I don't know what
I
I
need
need
to
to be
cancel
doing.
my gym membership. Speaking of, I have not been, and
What?
it's been a whole 2 years
I'm
since I've had it.
deceased. What are you doing?
Fixing your keyboard thing is bothering me.
Going to a whole nother section of the outline.
Well,
Anyways, I like that we started to talk about like writing your goals down, because I feel like that's really important. I feel like that is a way, like one way of manifesting, just to like make it tangible, put it on paper. And I always say, like, don't just write, oh, I want to reach da da da. Like, have detailed goals. Like, actually take a moment to like write everything down. Give yourself a deadline. Give yourself a timeline. Whatever you have to do. I just feel like just saying it is not enough. Just, trying to work every day towards something is not enough if you don't have a plan, if you don't know what it is that you need to be doing every single day. And you can't just speak things into existence like people say. I'm like, I don't really like that saying, because if you're not putting in the work behind it, then it's not just gonna fall in your lap.
So speaking of
Hello.
speaking of the workout thing, I use an app, and like you can click on like the body part, and it'll let you know like which exercises to do for that body part and like what equipment to use at the gym as well.
Oh,
they have
wow.
a million apps like that. I hate it because half of them be trying to charge you for stuff.
Oh no,
that I
this
feel
one's
like
free.
is just
This one is
I'm
free.
absolutely
screaming.
stupid.
Jacob said, been there, done that.
Let me
It's
tell you
free,
something.
I'm
but
trying to pay.
Let
the
me
only
tell
the only thing you have to pay for is just like the actual workout plans,
Yeah.
like the monthly plans,
See
stuff
how you
like that.
said the only thing you had to pay
But no,
for.
I don't even use it. I just
Stop.
like
I don't trust those apps
Stop.
at all.
I just make my, cause you can make your own workout. So I make like a weekly workout schedule. So like one day I'll do like abs and the next day chest and then legs, stuff like that. And so
Right.
you can make your own thing on there, but you can have to pay for them to do it for you. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
A personal assistant would be nice.
Hello.
That too.
To be completely honest, like a personal assistant
Hello.
would be nice.
Listen,
Something slipped my mind. I was about to tell you.
everything that is meant for you is already yours, okay?
That's what I was about to say.
We're on
Because
the
I
same
mean, I hate
page.
that you said it, but honestly, I live a life of abundance. I'm one of those people where I speak things to existence. Like, yes, I know I have to put in the work to do it as well. I will use my friend as an example in a story I'll tell you that we did last year is one, you had to do everything with intention. That's one thing that's very important. Do everything with intention. I'm not just going to do anything for no reason.
Right.
Period. It's going to have some type of, it's going to take me at least, even if it's just half a step closer to whatever I need to get done.
Or I'm not going to do something because I see someone else doing it and it's working for them. That's not intention.
And that's why I said earlier, it's fine to go off someone else's plan, but you got to tweak it for you as well if it's not working for you. It's good to get a ground-based and example, because there is one. I saw a video today where they were talking about sometimes people are gatekeeping things. They don't need to gatekeep. There's information that you can share with someone to help them improve and get started with what they got going on.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that. And see, you made me lose my train of thought again. Made me digress.
Everything happens for a reason. You speak things into existence, and
We
I
were
feel
on
like
the writing
everything.
it down too.
Yes, writing it
But
down.
one thing
Ooh,
people
cling,
miss
cling.
is a lot of times the goals that we're trying to achieve are things that we've already tried before. Now, let me say this to say that when you're writing down what you want to achieve, my friends and I did this last year. Not only did we write down what we wanted to achieve, but writing down what's getting in the way, writing down what issue, whether it be internal or external, writing down the roadblocks, the things that may have made you fail last time, or things you're just anxious or nervous about. That's another way to visualize it as well, because then you're more aware.
Right.
You're more aware of why hasn't this goal already been completed, or what's going to probably cause some issues with the goal. You were talking in one of your videos, it was an older one. Well, not an older one. It was a podcast, but I think it was like episode 2 or something, where you were actually talking about building your business and things and the failures you had with things that you wanted to try out before, but it didn't work until you landed on like the body oils and the lip glosses and the, things of that nature. But I say that to say you learned at that point, okay, last time what was in the way is knowing what I need to have in stock and what, I need to kind of maybe keep a lesser stock on, and you've
Right.
tweaked that.
Yeah.
But you knew that. Basically, I'm saying when you make that list, just like you would do a pro con list with anything else, sometimes with goals you have to put that negative side just to be aware,
Yes.
in a sense.
Yes, I definitely wrote that down today too, because I was just like, you have to be real with yourself, like when you're coming up with your goals for a new year, it's totally fine to say, sis, what you're doing right now is not working. You need to do better. Like that's what I'm constantly doing every single day. I'm like self-reflecting, self-evaluating to see
That's the word.
what am I
Self-reflection.
doing that could be possibly blocking me from being successful with X, Y, and Z? Because sometimes it's really us. Like, you really be blocking yourself. You don't even know. It's like your habits, your tendencies, your mindset. Like, you can literally be stopping yourself from a blessing, stopping yourself from an opportunity. So be real with yourself. Like, it's really just, it's you and you. If you have a business, if you're a creator or whatever, it's really just you and yourself. So you can be real with yourself and be like, hey, this is not working. This is why it's not working, and this is how we're going to try to make it better. So yeah, that's one thing that I've really been reflecting on. I'm like, I'm not perfect, and I know that, and I can't be in denial about it, because I would never grow if I don't say, okay, yeah, this right here, you got to stop doing that. You got to stop that, because that ain't gonna work.
Girl, I know I said it a million times. I'm an impulsive person, and that's the worst thing. Because even once I was finally self-aware of my issues, it was like, well, damn, I have no discipline, and then I'm real impulsive. So now we know, but you know, that's something hard to get over. But at the end of the day, sometimes you can work with that too. I've learned that sometimes you can find the bad in yourself and not try to fix it, just work with it. To be completely honest,
Oh
like,
my God,
girl.
that's my next tip right here.
I'm so impulsive. When I say I gotta cut the long term stuff into short term goals, I'm talking real short. I'm talking real short. Cause girl, if it's gonna take, if the whole goal itself is gonna take probably 6 months or something, let's just use school for example.
Right.
Well, I don't even like to use that because I'm gonna always remember how long it's gonna take. But regardless, I have to really keep it interesting, because
Mm-hmm.
if not, that's my bad trait, is how impulsive I am, and I
Right.
have to keep it interesting for me, which
Mm-hmm.
is one reason why I'm ready to leave Apple. Like I told you, I want to wake up every day happy with what I'm about to do, because it's going to be interesting today.
Right.
Even if I got to make it interesting, I'm gonna find a way.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that's not changing over here. I said what I said.
And I meant it. I'm
Period.
screaming, okay? But yeah, that was my next thing. I'm just like, put your focus on the right things. Like, focus on what you have and try to work with that versus thinking about the stuff that you don't have, because sometimes it's just like you can't go out and get certain things right away. Sometimes you do have to work your way up to certain things. So why not just work with what you have? Why not just think about it as a positive versus sitting here and wishing and hoping that you had this other situation? Like, people really be seeing something and wishing
Mhm.
that they were in that situation when they don't know what's going on behind closed doors, and that's just might not even be what, is for you. Like, you might have something bigger and better coming for you, and you sitting here dwelling on the stuff that you don't even have, or the stuff that you wish you had, and you're trying to get like somebody else. And that's another thing. You can really mess yourself up like that. Like, it'll mess with your mental, it'll mess with your productivity, because you'll start spending a lot of time watching other people and seeing what other people are doing, less time focusing on your own stuff and putting energy into your own stuff. It's just not worth it for me. I mean,
To be honest, that's the part of that life of abundance I'm always talking about.
hello.
It's not about just, getting whatever you want. It's really just about focusing on yourself and just attracting whatever comes to you, whatever you need. I don't think whatever I want is just going to come, but I know whatever I need will. It
Mm-hmm.
just is what it is. As long as I continue to do what I need to do on a daily basis, I'm going to get what I need, and it's going to come to me. But I'm not worried about anybody else's business but my own, to
Mind the
be
business
honest.
that pays you. Okay.
Hello. And that's
Yeah.
a big dot.
Another thing, like me personally, I'm all about like energy. I'm all about vibes. I'm all about, good vibes only. So it's really important. Like, don't be out here setting all these goals, like trying to do all these big things, and then you're surrounding yourself with people that are like draining all of your energy in the worst way.
Hmm.
Like, they're literally sucking all the life out of you, and you're not getting anything from them. I'm just like, look, my circle is small and it's going to stay that way. Okay. All the relationships that I have, all of my friendships that I have, it is mutual. Like we mutually benefit each other. So if you are in any type of situation where it's like you're not getting something from the other party, cut. Look,
Hello.
cut ties.
I'm gonna use my friend. I'm not gonna say no names.
Don't say no names. Don't put nobody on Front Street. You don't gotta do that.
I'm gonna use her as an example though, because she's always wanted to start her own business. She's a very creative person, whether it be with her business or her art. But she was around the wrong people. She was around people who were energy leeches. It's honestly how we refer to them, whether it was emotionally leeching off of her energy or even one friend was physically leeching. I stayed out of it because that ain't got nothing to do with me. I was just telling her how I felt about it, and it's how I felt, because she also had another creative friend, which it's good to be around people that have the same, I guess I want to say, mindset as you. That's always a good thing. But I say that to say, and this is really to my business owners and other people of that nature, also know when you need to just focus on yourself and your own goals.
Right.
Because I saw that with her, is that she had a friend who was so focused on what they had going on and wanted everybody else to be focused on what they had going on. That girl, she let her business go just helping out a friend, just basically having her energy and time and effort sucked into helping someone else.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Please focus on yourself, even if it means you have to be selfish and a little bit rude and a little bit distant. Like, listen. I used to have that problem getting distracted helping other people. Girl, when I tell you, I used to have a problem jumping in front of a train to push another person out the way. Not anymore. Because it's nice to give when you can, but other than that, you really do end up going down a path that you had one set up for yourself. We sitting here talking about writing all these goals, doing all this stuff, and you end up something that's not on your list you doing for someone else, and now you're completely off your list. Yes. Like, it's throwing you off.
Completely off. That was wasted a whole week of your life or a whole month of your life. It's just not the way to be. And that's why, I mean, it's nice to surround yourself with people that are kind of doing the same thing that you're doing, but then it's also nice to have that contrast. I'm like, with me and you, our friendship, I'm like, you're not an entrepreneur, but you want to get there one day, you want to do that one day. So it's like me and Jacob is literally like a mental break for me, because it's like we don't talk about work, okay? We don't talk about any of that stuff.
Everyone's bad habit. I said that earlier today to somebody else.
You need friends like that, though. It's like it's a literal mental break, and it's such a breath of fresh air. It's like you don't have to think about the stuff that you're doing every single day. So you need a circle of people that are going to balance each other out. I'm like, we got Zaraya, me and Zaraya, both business owners. We talk a lot about our business, but we also just be goofy half of the time. And then, I have other friends that also have businesses, but just, you got to spread it out. I
think it's about setting boundaries, to be honest. Like, there's a limit to it, to be completely honest. There's a limit to what I can help. There's a limit to my energy, and there's a limit to what I can give. So as long as it's boundaries set, then baby, then your circle's good, basically. Like, I'm sorry, sorry to digress, but I was talking to someone about this earlier today. Like, they said that they felt a little strange that, their friend group that they're with kind of just came from a mutual friend. Basically, what they were saying is that they didn't like the fact that they haven't cherry-picked, quote-unquote, all their friends. I'm like, baby, no. I went to the apple fields, and I saw the perfect ones, and I ploop, and that was my circle. That was
Plucked
it.
Them off.
Like, you really do have to handpick your friends and then set those boundaries so you guys understand, like, yes, we all want to support each other. We always want to see each other succeed. But there's a certain way that we have to help each other do that, whether it just be to be there for each other or to actually, like you and Zaray do sometimes, share those business ideas. That's what I was saying earlier about you don't have to gatekeep everything. Like, because we truly do always want to see everyone succeed, but you really do have to always put yourself first at the end of the day. And that means all the people in my circle, they're for me. I picked them myself, like no other, and they know why they're here, and that's why it's a two-way street, and it's so easy to be mutual. Is because, like, if it wasn't, I wouldn't have picked y'all.
And if it ended up that it was one day and then it wasn't the next day,
hello,
cut.
Hello, cut. Because baby, sometimes that fruit will go bad. You got to get rid of it.
Free yourself of any dead weight. Like, don't go into a new year with all these new goals and you still holding on to baggage. Like, don't do that.
Yes, yes. Maybe that's what some of y'all needs to do for the Christmas is work on your friend group first. Then we can go to New Year's into some new goals working on you. Cause y'all they really like I'm sorry, but I just knew I had to get rid of some of my friends who are draining the life out of me
Right.
every day to the
Yeah.
point where I can't even remember like the first 2 years of college and this is my problem speaking personally because I never had an issue with friends. Y'all have always been my forever friends. Y'all have
Mm-hmm.
always been picked by me. My problem is people I date. They distract me from my goals extremely, like just in every way they can. It's just ridiculous how I allow, and I'm not gonna blame it on them. I will say I allow the people I date, unfortunately, to distract me from my goals.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I'm not doing that next year. Go ahead and add that to my New Year's resolution list too, because at this point, hello, tippy tight, I'm not letting anyone that I date distract me from my goals or pull me off my path.
Literally,
That's the problem.
that was me at one point in time. And I was just like, what you're not about to do is you're not about to break my focus. You're not about to make me feel bad about putting time into what I want to do. You're not about to make me feel bad about doing what I got to do at the end of the day. Like, if I didn't get to talk to you that much today, we didn't get to chat that much today, I still got my work done today.
And you know what? Let me talk. Let me talk to the ladies real quick.
I'm just saying.
Because I feel like we really had to stop. And I'm saying we, but I'm talking about me and whoever's like me out there in this world. Gotta stop dating unmotivated men. I hate it. I be feeling like, and I feel like it's a part of my personality that I get attracted to people that I feel like I can help or I can
Oh,
teach
baby,
or they can
no.
learn from me.
Oh, baby, no.
It's like you're deciding at that point to drive down a one-way street, baby.
Yes,
Like that's
yes.
it. You're starting from the
Nurturer,
yeah.
giver.
Oh, I was such a nurturer. I realized being a nurturer, you will never get anything done with your life. Like, I hate to use this as an example, but all those cliche movies where the mother always blames the child for, her lost
Oh
career
my
or
gosh.
whatever. Baby, I be dating these men. I'm like, do I have to help you grow up to the point where I'm really about to miss all my life and what I have to achieve and goals because I'm dragging you along now?
Listen.
Y'all, please put yourself around people who are going to, I think of us all as balloons floating up. Don't let nobody grab your string. Float with the babies, float with everybody else. Just let it happen naturally because these men will drag you down more than your friends, honestly. And then it just goes so unnoticed because you be loving them.
He said, "Ooh, he's
You actually love
disgusted." I'm
them. It's crazy.
screaming. Okay, I'm literally screaming.
Crazy.
And listen, this right here is all a part of the process, but you know how when you plan something, you got a goal, you do it, you're working towards it, you're on track, but then it just doesn't work out. Like, some things are just not meant to be. Some things are just not for you. Like, you wouldn't know that going into it, but like I said earlier, whatever is meant for you is already yours. So you might run into those situations where you work tirelessly on something and it just does not turn out how you wanted it to. But at the end of the day, for me, most of the times in those situations, there has always been something bigger and better out there for me. Like, I might have failed on one thing and then the next day a whole new opportunity comes and it's just like, wow, this is 10 times better than what I was thinking that I was doing over here.
Life of abundance, baby. It comes.
Abundance.
Hello.
Abundance, okay?
That's what it is. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So you have to be okay with stuff like that. Like, you have to be, like you said, self-disciplined. Because I mean, I had to grow. Like, when I would get in a situation, if I worked so hard on something and it didn't turn out how I wanted to, I would be so hard on myself, like so down on myself, like, oh my gosh, like you failed yourself. Like, how could you let this happen? It would be just this whole downward spiral. But I had to learn, like, you have to be okay with stuff like that because it just wasn't meant to be. If I couldn't do it, if I couldn't make it look how I wanted to make it look, it just wasn't meant to be.
To be completely honest, I hear that. Because you make a good plan, I make a good plan. Like, if it really didn't work out, well, new plan or really a new subject altogether.
Period.
That's really how I feel. I've been at the same job for 5 years and
Yes.
I'm ready to leave because of that fact. Like, I've realized, okay, we've exhausted this and it's just not working. Like, you thought you wanted to do this and you really in reality didn't.
Don't get too comfortable. Don't get too stagnant because it's not a good place to be. I'm the type of person, I'm always trying to get to the next level. So if I'm that was one thing about me being in a corporate position, is that I would have had to work for so long just to climb the tier to get to the next
Yes.
level. So I'm like, I don't like stagnant. And I feel like if I wake up, I'm doing the same thing every day and I'm not adding anything new. We're not receiving any new blessings. We're not doing anything that's gonna level me up. I can't. Like I'm going crazy. Like I'm losing my mind. So that was why really I was just like, the corporate world would have never worked for me.
Yeah,
Just
it's
for
not
that
working
one
for me.
aspect, it would have never worked for me.
It is not working for me either for that aspect as well. I mean, I feel like it works for others, but even with, because I really don't want to down people in the corporate world. I
Oh,
really
for sure,
don't.
no.
But at the same time, some people really do have that drive where it's like they can find something new every day for them to advance in that field or whatever
Right.
the case may be. But it definitely isn't for me either. Like, I can't keep doing it because of the fact that I feel like it's just stopping me from everything else that I want to do because of that stagnant feeling that you're mentioning. Like, you literally feel like you're just doing the same thing.
Right. We're just making a living.
Yeah.
And some people are like that. And that's there's no issue with that. There's no issue with
An issue
being
for me.
comfortable in your life and you are happy with your job. You can do it with no problem. And your main goal is to just get up, go to work, go home. That's cool. Like people have that mentality. If that satisfies you, period. To each its own. Like for me, that ain't it.
I was watching something and it literally was talking about how you just have to wake up every day, look yourself in the mirror and ask if you're happy. And that's really the end goal is every day I want the answer to be yes.
Right.
Like that's just it. Like whatever steps I have to take, whether it be with my job, love life, friends, whatever the case may be, the end result is that I want to naturally just be happy where I'm at.
Correct.
Period.
That's the end all be all because life is too short to be out here doing stuff that's really not making you happy.
Life's short and then you die.
We used to say that all the time in high school.
All the time, yeah. It stuck with me. Like people don't.
They taught us that in high school.
Literally,
like our teachers taught us that in 10th grade.
Life is
short,
hard and then you die.
Life is short and hard, and then you die. Like
that's our favorite thing to say. Life's hard, then you die.
Listen,
it is. It's short and it's hard. Thank you for telling me.
Thank you for reiterating it. Thank you
And
for
then I
drilling
die.
it into my brain. Okay.
You just got to be happy.
Teachers told
with
y'all
you.
that?
Yes.
Yeah, Miss Miller,
that's
to be
crazy.
exact. She was one of my favorites. I loved her. But you
Very
know what's crazy?
brutal, very blunt.
She was very disciplined, though.
Very disciplined, yeah.
Because she used to always talk about how fat she used to be and show us pictures and everything. She still never had no booty.
You're hilarious. Not trying to censor
she used to
it.
talk about it, though. I love our teachers back in the day because they were very raw with us. I felt like they understood, or this is how I used to feel, especially like since we used to always take advanced classes and AP classes, like they used to always be very blunt with us at the fact of this is a college level class.
Yes.
So let's treat it as such. Like I'm like, okay, great. So they didn't really focus on the babying us and patronizing us.
Right.
So she told us straight up, yes, that was a phrase that was well known in her class is life is hard and then you die. Like she's giving us homework. You want to complain? Okay, life's hard. Then you die.
Right.
Like you need to do what
Get
you
it
need
done.
to do, though,
Go
to
do
get to the
it and
next
shut
step.
up. Like
Exactly.
You got to do what you got to do. And, and that's part of being an adult. You have to do things that you don't want to do. And I mean, like I said, it was funny back then, but I'm like, you really think back to the stuff that you learn as a child or learn as you're growing up. And that stuff really sticks with you. Like,
Because I'm not going to lie, I probably would not have been able to make it through some days without thinking about that phrase, to be honest. Like, there have been some days where it's just like, you know how you just have a day where it's like, you're not going to get any pleasure from this. It's just going to be straight work.
Yes.
I use school as an example, especially around finals time, because that's where it's like very
the
stressful.
hardest time of life.
Yes, it's when you just have nothing but, whether it be papers, tests, finals, quizzes from the morning, literally from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. Like, honestly, even the way y'all be working out, I be seeing y'all doing y'all businesses, waking up every day trying to fill orders, making sure stuff is out. There's days where literally you just know it's just going to be hard. But I'm not going to say that and then you die part made me happy, but it's just the fact that everyone just goes through it. You just got to get through the hard work to be happy the next day. Honestly, like there are days like that. But as long as you can wake up the next morning and ask yourself if you're happy and the answer be yes.
Right.
you'll be okay. Just get the work done to keep it that way, really.
I'm like,
Mhm.
right now, because, people are like, when you work a regular job, it's so much easier. You clock in at this time, you clock out at that time, you get paid. It's very
I hate it.
structured. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent, reliable income. And I'm just like, yeah, but me personally, if you ask me if I'm happy right now, the answer is going to be yes. And that's with me putting in twice the amount of hours. That's with me dealing with the days where I don't make any money at all. So it's like I'm going through all of the struggles, all of the motions, whether I talk about it or I don't talk about it. But I would much rather be in this situation than to be in that structured situation as
Yeah.
a corporate worker. Like, I mean, I don't know. That's just you have to pick what you want to do, what you love to do. So if you want to take that risk, if you want to put in more work, I'm like, I know for a fact some nights I didn't get any sleep and I got 20 orders that need to be done today. Like, I'm going to have to get up and go get that done. I don't know what time I'm going to get done. I don't know what time I'm going to sleep. I don't know none of that. But that's the situation that I would rather put myself in. So,
Yeah, it's like that saying, like, if you do something you love, then you'll never feel like you're working.
Ever.
So,
period. Now my back might hurt, so it did feel like I was working a little bit at the end of the day, but
My knees be out of it. That's what it is for me.
it's just like one
My
thing about me
mm,
right now, I'm trying to make sure, like you said earlier, treat your body like a temple because I just feel like this generation, we're doing things that have not been done before. Like we were not built to work this much. I don't feel like in
or be
some
under this stress.
yeah, I feel like we weren't built to, deal with these kind of things every single day. So sometimes I'm just like, wow, like I really need to take a step back, take care of myself. I don't want to prematurely age myself. I'm like, I'm in my early 20s right now. Like I do not
Hmm.
want to be burnt out by the time I'm 30. So,
I've been on a self-care kick for like a month now, to be honest. I'm a
mhm.
little stuck in it, which might be bad, might be good, but
It's important.
it's very much so important because I'm speaking from someone in a corporate job. It is awful. It's literally awful. There's no other way to put it. There's no other way to sugarcoat it. Like, and that's me saying, I used to always brag about how much I love the company I'm working for, and I still do to this day. But it's just the fact that, do I want to do that? I was about to say damn. I can say damn though. But damn, do I want to do this for like,
My whole life?
yeah.
Hell no.
Answer's no.
The answer is no
The answer's
with a
definitely
big
no.
dot. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Listen, life is what you make it at the end of the day. Like you have to learn that you're in full control. So sometimes you have to take risks, do things that you would not normally do. One thing that I did want to talk about is setting deadlines, and that's a part of learning to be more self-disciplined, because a lot of people ask me like how do I become more self-disciplined, and honestly, like, I don't know what to tell you because I was kind of raised that way and that's how I was taught in school. And I just have always wanted the best for myself. I have always wanted to be the best, like I always wanted to be in the top 10 of my class. I always wanted to be, on all A honor roll. Like I've always just wanted to naturally do these things for myself. So if you don't naturally have that drive or have that energy, I really don't know what to tell you.
You
But
gotta love yourself for that. And I love myself, to be honest with you, but you have to really know your self worth. And I think that's where my self discipline has been slowly getting better because I realize I'm definitely worth this. Like, and
mhm.
it is definitely part of the deadline, but that's one of those things I feel like when you procrastinate, you're basically telling yourself that, yeah, I deserve it. Yeah, that should be mine, but I don't mind waiting forever for it rather than just saying, like,
Mm.
I'm going to get it.
I like
Like
that a
that
lot.
that's
Yeah,
really what it is. You just
that's
have to
true.
really just know that
Listen,
I'm worth it. And it needs to happen nizow. Like
Niz out.
like it needs to happen
Period.
when it needs to happen and not a day later, to be completely honest.
That's
But
real.
you just gotta start telling yourself that you're worth it.
Mhm.
That's
Keep
it.
yourself on track. Like that's why I'm like, people are like, how do you stay motivated? Even through the hard times and everything. You have to want this. If you don't want this, if you don't know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, I cannot help you. I cannot help you visualize that. I cannot help you
You need a
believe that for
therapist.
yourself. So that's really some self-reflecting that you're going to have to do at the end of the day. But for me, I like deadlines. I work off of deadlines. Deadlines help me out a lot. It helps to keep me organized. It helps to keep me on track and keep the checkpoints, like you said before. So I'm like, if I know I got a week to do something, I need to be working on it throughout the week. I don't need to be waiting until the day before it's done to do the whole thing. Like, try to spread stuff out so that you're not feeling crazy when it's due. School has me like that. School really has me like that. I'm like, I'm in college. My parents are working their asses off to make sure that I get through school, like to make sure that school is paid for. I'm working to make sure that I keep my scholarships. I'm working to make sure that, you know, I'm doing stuff in my on-campus job to make sure that I'm staying in school. School is expensive. When you're in college, school is expensive. I never understood that. I'm like, how can people pay so much money to go to school and then completely just like not do their work or not turn stuff in or just not be responsible? So school really has me like that in a sense where I know that if something is due on this day, it's due on that day because they're not going to accept it late. When you get into the real world, they're not going to accept it late. So that is how I kind of work with my business. Like, this is a real job. A lot of people, when you get into entrepreneur life, they don't want to think of it as a real job. Oh, you're playing. This is a game. I'm like, dang, just because I like absolutely love what I'm doing, I'm having a good time with what I'm doing, it's not a real job.
But I think that's the difference between you and other people, because I'm not gonna lie, I'll look at some people and think, yo, this is just a game for you. But that's one reason why I haven't started the entrepreneur life. Like you said earlier, it's not that it's not something I want to do, but like you found something you're so passionate about. Like, I hate when I see people, they'll start like a shirt line, a t-shirt line with just their like basic, like, I'm trying to choose my words very well because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings who's watching this right now.
I'm not
But
about to play with you.
it's the
It's
truth,
merch.
though.
Okay, they have merch.
But I'm saying if you have merchandise, you should have something else on the side. Like, I know one person who does that. He has shirts that he sells with just his logo, but he has a wig line too, a wig collection. So that's merchandise for his wig collection. That's a different story.
Right.
I'm talking about someone who's just starting a business just because they just woke up and don't want to work for anybody else, which that's a good reason, but you just have to have something that you're really passionate about. That if you have a customer who's going to ask you a million questions right now, you're going to answer every single last one of them with like some joy,
excitement,
and some enthusiasm.
yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm looking for. When you brought up the hookah stuff, like, listen, that's a business I would definitely get into. But hello, let me know when you're ready to start that, and I'll pitch in. I'll sponsor.
New things coming in 2021, people.
Hello.
Stay tuned. So, yeah, I mean, lastly, we're talking about goals. We're talking about, keeping ourselves on track. I don't know if you have any goals for yourself, but we can talk about that to wrap up our little conversation here. I mean, I feel like I have a lot of goals, but I don't want to just be like, I want to do this, this, and this, I don't want to be that girl, so I'm going to let you talk first.
I mean, girl, I'm that girl. I have a list of things that I'm trying to accomplish. I've already told you, like, I really don't want that piano to continue to collect dust. Like, I actually do want to, just like with band, like, just start with simple stuff, scales every day, maybe in 2 months progress to, like, a beginner song or something like that. And still get to that song that I thought I'd be playing by the end of this year, by the end of next year. But like with an actual plan in place. But I was going to tell you this too. I actually, because I hate I've actually had a love-hate relationship with it because, again, we're both very good at self-reflecting. There was a reason I dropped out of school, and it was because I did not have the self-discipline. I realized I'm paying a lot of money, and I'm actually smart enough to do this stuff, but I'm not doing, I'm not good with the deadlines and all that.
That's one thing about Jacob. That man is smart. Okay.
Hello.
Wow.
It's ever since high school, it's always just been I just don't want to do it. I'm going to do just enough to get by.
Yes.
But that was a mindset I had to change. But I say that to say that's another goal on my list. I actually did my re-entry to Georgia State literally like yesterday or today. Like my days have been kind of, a lot
blurred
of wine
lines.
nights. Yeah.
Yes.
I've had a lot of wine nights, so they were pretty blurred. But I'm pretty sure I did it yesterday. So that's another goal is I actually do need to finish this degree. And worst part about it, like I just say this to really emphasize how serious I am with if I'm not passionate about it, I really don't care. When I was at Georgia State, the first 2 years, I wasn't doing core classes. I was actually doing my major classes and loving it. Like that was a time where like everything was on time, everything was flawless, everything was perfect. And then I turned around and tried to do my core classes in my junior and senior year of college, and that's when I hated it. So now I feel like I have the discipline to just do the work Because at the end of the day, the end goal is to get my degree so I can get into what I'm happy about.
Right.
So that means I have to do that whole life is hard part, the BS, basically.
Life is hard.
But those are really the biggest goals I have right now is just getting back into music because everyone needs a hobby to keep their mind on straight, to be completely honest.
Literally, I'm about to buy me a new flute for Christmas, or I'm
Hello.
going to ask Devin to buy it for me.
Hello.
Devin.
That's a big dot. I mean, he heard it. He got the headphones on.
Oh, yes,
Already
I
asked me.
did. All right, see, I'm ahead of myself, you guys. See, look.
Proactive, not reactive.
Hello! Proactive and not reactive. We grew up on that
Oh.
too. Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm not tapping back into cheerleading. That's a no. I'm like, I do want to exercise more and get my flexibility back because it's like,
Do yoga.
yeah, I'm like, I need to get
All
my
my girls
body.
do
I'm
yoga.
so
Yoga's not
tense.
easy.
Girls
as it
do yoga.
looks.
No,
It's not
yoga,
easy.
yoga is not easy at all. But
I can't even make it through her little, like, there's this one girl I watch on YouTube. I can't make
Mm-mm.
it through her videos at
No
all.
way. I just want
Ugh.
to exercise more, get a little bit of my flexibility back. I want to implement a better lifestyle, like more of a healthier lifestyle. Because I'm like, I work so much. And like you said, I don't want to end up down the line and my body is like, what is life? Like, this is too much now. So I just want to like take baby steps and make sure I'm still taking care of my body. When it comes to my business, like I said, always leveling up is a huge goal of mine. And one thing that I really, really, really want to do is I just want to be more on top of things when it comes to scheduling. Because I'm like, this year was crazy. So I really was kind of doing everything at the last minute. Well, what I like to call the last minute when I'm like just right on time. I don't like being on time. I like being early.
Girl, hello.
On time is early, early is late, right? On time, what is it? No.
Early is on.
Early is on
Early is
time.
on time is late.
The wine is talking. Jesus.
This crappy
Say it again.
wine.
Say it again. One more time.
Early is on time is late.
Yes, what did I say?
You said
Don't say it again. Don't say it
Didn't
again.
On
you say you
time
had
is
some hard
early.
seltzer?
I do. Yeah, you want some?
Yeah.
Okay. What Devin said, because the wine is talking for me right now. I want to be ahead of the game, you know? Like, I don't want to be at the very last second, like trying to do stuff for my business. So when it comes to my birthday collection, I'm like, my birthday is in March. I'm planning it now because I know that it's going to take time for me to make all the products. First of all, order all the stuff for the products, make the products, photograph, do a whole marketing campaign. Like, that stuff takes time. Big businesses, they work a year in advance. Like, I'm trying to get to that level with it. And so just living my day-to-day and doing things on my day-to-day is not going to work.
Do you already have a color palette for your birthday collection? Because I have one in mind.
Nothing concrete.
Okay, I have one in mind. We should talk.
Okay.
I have 4 or 5 colors in mind already.
Wow.
That are in there. It automatically comes with its own like marketing plan and photo op and everything.
Surround yourself with people that are going to benefit you and
that's
that
me.
you are also going to benefit. It needs to be mutual. It can't be just a give, but it also can't be just a take.
Yes.
It's a two-way street.
And please be aware when you're the taker too. I feel like that's the problem. Please
Be real with yourself.
Yes, be real with yourself. Like, honestly, stop yourself from asking your friend to help you out with something else and ask if they need help with any of their goals.
Correct.
If you really that type, if you don't even know what your friend got going on, just ask them what goals they have and ask them what you can do to help this year or next year to achieve them together. Even if that means give me some space, baby. I don't need you around. That's okay.
You're hilarious.
Okay.
Okay, so the moral to this story, right? Figure out what you want to do, write it down, and make a plan for execution and stick to it. Okay, this is not a game. This is not a joke. Take yourself seriously or nobody else will, period. Continue to work hard, level up, because there's always more room for growth. There's always more room for expansion. Don't be too stagnant. Don't let yourself get comfortable. Learn how to set yourself up for success because people plan differently. People can use different methods to getting work done. Whatever works for you is what's going to work for you. We talked about a lot of stuff that works for us. If nothing that we said works for you, I'm going to need you to find what works for you, okay? And that's totally okay. Like, if somebody else's methods don't work for your life, that's totally fine. Don't feel bad about that. And lastly, don't be too hard on yourself if things don't work out because, like I said before, everything happens for a reason. Everyone's success comes at different times. So just because you see me booming right now doesn't mean that me and you are going to be in the same spot right now. you know? And just because you see me booming right now, you don't know really what's going on in my life either. So
Period.
I'm
That's
I'm
another
still not where I want to be either. So, you know, it's a lot that goes into it. So just do what makes you happy. Take your time with it. Work on your own pace, okay? Because everyone's journey is their journey and everything happens at different times for different people. So that is the end of our topic. You know, that was the tea. I hope that this was helpful. Cheers to starting,
Mhm.
2021 with some realistic, achievable goals, and cheers to crushing those goals because that's just what we're gonna do.
Hello, that's how we do it.
That's how we do it. Because when we do it, it's done. Period.
Period. When I say it, it's done, okay? I'm just doing it for the fun of it, okay? It's already done. But yeah.
All right, you guys. So we have a few questions from the squad. Let's go ahead and get into them.
So the first one is, how do I build trust with my customers?
Ooh, that's a good question. We
I've
can
got an
both.
answer. I
We
was
can
about to,
both.
I'm
Yeah,
a
we can both
customer.
chime. We can both chime in. Okay.
You honestly have to just be consistent and punctual. Like, honestly, it depends on what your business is. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
you're a hairstylist, punctuality is really key.
Right.
If you are, I mean, punctuality is really key with all businesses. I hate to say it, but then also customer service is top tier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really think, and I hate to say it because you're asking how to build trust. It's really hard to build trust, but it's real easy to lose trust.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you have issues with maybe your product or maybe shipping or whatever the case may be. Is how you deal with it from that point
Right.
where I'm going to respond, and that's going to make me decide whether or not I want to continue to shop with you or not. It's really that simple. So that's my answer to that, really. It's very hard to build trust, but losing trust is easy if you're not on time or if you're handling bad situations in a worse manner, if you're not tending to your customers, especially the long-term customers. Like,
Mm-hmm.
y'all are small businesses right now, but when y'all get bigger, don't forget about the people that, have been supporting for the longest.
Right.
Even I think, don't you still have a mailing list?
Mm-hmm.
Does that I mean, I think that's a good idea for any business, no matter how big or small, a
Right.
mailing
Yeah.
list, because then that's something you can keep track of, send rewards out, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
That's my point of view.
Yeah. For me, it's really important to be really open and transparent with my customers. Like, I want you to know what to expect when you shop with me prior to shopping with me. So I try to make sure that all the information is there for you. And I just like to show up, like, show up with the quality product all the time. When you have a handmade product, you have to be consistent. Like, don't be switching stuff up. Don't be switching up the formula. Don't, when people find something that they love, they want to continue to get that thing. So I just feel like, that's one way to really build trust and build those loyal customers, when you be consistent with that part of it. But customer service is really big, like you said, because a lot of people, they're all about the money. A lot of people are about the money, and they're not really about their customers. They're not really about what their customers have going on. So I'm like, right now I'm doing wholesale. So if I'm doing wholesale, then my main focus as an entrepreneur right now is supplying your business. So I at the end of the day have to be concerned about what you have going on. So I like to, let people know I care about y'all. Like, I want y'all to have the top quality product. I want to make sure that you guys are marketing your product the right way. Just making it known, like, that I actually care, I feel like, because it's not just a business for me. It's about the journey. It's about how I can help others. It's about how I can inspire others to do what they've always wanted to do. So yeah, being open, being transparent, responding, please.
Mm.
That's one way that you can just totally lose a whole customer, like, if you just don't respond to them. So, yep, that's my answer to that. And then everything that Jacob said, because listen, please, if there's an issue, the way that you go about it is going to make or break that situation.
And I'm
Literally.
not gonna lie, I learned that from my current job. Like I said, I've been at it for 5 years. And for those who didn't know, I work for Apple. But honestly, like, my specialty is not just we fix the person before we fix the phone, like, the phone or the Mac. Like, I work with really any product. But I say that to say, like, they teach you a lot about personalizing and perfecting the customer experience. And it really does make a difference. No matter what's wrong, if you
Right.
can respond well, if you can personalize it, if you, like you said, ask enough
De-escalate the
questions.
situation.
Yes, you have to de-escalate.
Yes.
But that is part of what you said, just knowing what they have going on. Sometimes you can ask two little questions in the beginning, or just understand the or why it's urgent to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then that honestly has made you a loyal customer right there because they feel cared about. That's
Right.
really all anybody wants when they're out
Yes.
shopping. But that's it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So the next question is, what's the one thing you wish you would have known when you were first starting your business?
That's more so for you.
that's for you. I'm gonna let you answer that one.
Yeah.
What's one thing you wish you would have known in the beginning? I really wish I would have known, about the impact that I would was gonna have on people. Like the impact that I have on people right now is just so crazy to me. But then again, it's like I knew that it was gonna come because I also I'm into watching YouTubers. I'm into, supporting small businesses and stuff. So when I'm watching these people and I'm like following their journeys, I'm seeing them go through things and learn from things and level up in life. You really build a connection with that person and you've never met them. So it's like really crazy. So I knew that once I started sharing my life and being on the internet that was eventually going to come, but I didn't know how it was going to feel. I didn't know, what kind of vibe I was going to get after that. So I feel like if I would have known that in the beginning, maybe I would have went even harder in the beginning, even though, I think I started off pretty strong. But I just feel like if I would have known that I would be able to reach so many people and supply to so many people around the world, I feel like I could have done things a little bit differently in the beginning. For sure. But it's just so rewarding now to know, just to hear you guys say that my videos help you or, the podcast helps you or anything like that just lights up my whole world because that's all that I really want to do at the end of the day.
Is there anything that you would have done different to expedite the situation?
Well, I mean, now, I learn more about being a content creator every day, and that's one thing that me and Devin kind of bounce off of each other. So maybe in the beginning I could have done more of a marketing campaign. I feel like I always talk about marketing. I literally went to school for marketing and had to create all of these mock-ups and everything. I did not do that for my business. So I feel like if I would have implemented those kind of things in the beginning and really just kind of started off with more, what's the word I'm looking for, more stylized marketing versus the lifestyle, because I was doing just pictures of the products and stuff. But if I would have done actual really nice flat lays or really nice just mock-ups and stuff, maybe it would have made a difference to kind of just stand out from what everybody else was doing. But yeah, I think that's really the only thing that I would have done differently. Just trying to play with the marketing and how I kind of launched my business, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, everything happens for a reason. So
Got you. And the last one is, what's your favorite mantra that you live by?
You have any mantras?
I'm glad you repeated the question.
You didn't hear him?
I'm a little deaf, y'all. But yikes. I don't even think I saw you put this post up recently and talking about mantras. I don't think I have one really that I go off of. I actually have a tattoo that says growth, but it's a song. But I consider it a mantra because it's only a 30-second song. She says, the only thing constant in the world is change. So I take life as it comes. That's really something I live by.
Yeah.
Because, that's really the only way to keep your head up when just random crazy things happen. But then the title, like I said, the title of the song is actually growth. So as long as you're continuing to grow from it, then I think that song itself is probably a mantra I live by. That's the only one I can think of right now, which is why I got it tatted.
Period. Tatted.
Hello. Period
to meaningful tattoos. I mean, just saying. My favorite mantra, I mean, we've been saying this the whole time, but I really had to learn that what's meant for me is going to be for me, and it's only going to come to me when the timing is right. It's only going to come to me when I can handle it. I think back to, wishing that I had certain things, but then when I actually get them, I realized that, wow, a year ago, I would not have been able to handle this mentally, physically, or financially. So be careful what you wish for because you just might get it and then be looking crazy when you can't handle it. And it's like, well, here we are. So I feel like, just understanding that that's the way life works. When I'm meant to have something, it's already destined for me, and I just have to be ready and able to accept it. And I just know that timing is everything. I know that things are going to come to me when it's meant to come to me, and that's just how I live. I feel like that way I'm more calm. I'm not stressed out thinking about why things are not happening quickly, or why things didn't happen this way, or why didn't it play out like this. I feel like I can just eliminate all of those kind of thoughts. So that's my mantra that I live by the most.
Let's see.
Cool. Those are all the questions.
Period. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being here with me, Jacob. We have reached the end of the episode. So make sure you follow me, Jacob, and Devin on all of our social media platforms. I will have them all linked down below. Make sure you are shopping Smudge Cosmetics and Crochet by K. Also, you can now shop Crown Royal extensions. Period.
Hello.
If you are watching this on YouTube, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to my channel down below. Also, follow me on all of the podcast platforms, and make sure you head over to Apple Podcasts and leave me a rating and a review. I love you all so much, and I will catch you in episode 17. Bye.
Bye.